Accessibility Stories, brought to you by Deque.
My name is Ryan, and this is my accessibility story. I teach both Braille and computers at Blind Incorporated in a combined class we call Communications. And the purpose is to give people back the literacy that they need to be successful, i.e. learning Braille, and to make sure that they can use the computers and the internet, all of the things that they will need to be competent members of society and the workforce and education, whatever career path or vocational goal they choose. If you don't have confidence, if you don't have the belief that you as a blind individual can be a productive member of society, can make a difference in society, then you'll never do those things. In teaching, I think one of the things that is most rewarding is when people realize just how useful what we teach is going to be and how through learning what we teach, they're going to get their lives back. I think a lot of times people come to the program, especially those people who go blind later in life, and they don't know what accessibility is and they don't know what inaccessibility is. They just remember that being sighted, using the internet and using the computer was really easy for them to do. And then they come to the program and they learn how to use the internet and they start working on email and they start working on commerce and shopping. And then they start to see all these crazy things that pop up, these unlabeled graphics and these weird frames. And they get really frustrated because they say, this was never this difficult when I could see. And so I think accessibility is so important because if you have a playing field that's not level, then it is much harder for people to get their lives back on track. And we can teach all sorts of strategies and tips and tricks for getting around those roadblocks that exist and different modifications, but that's not the real experience. That's not the efficient experience. And so when you can give people a slick, well-designed, clean, accessible interface, then they can be just as productive as they want to be. Some of the tools that I use in terms of accessibility that help me to be a better teacher are clean and well-designed pages and interfaces. Being able to get where you need to go and get there quickly, because making sure that people understand through my modeling that this isn't difficult is what helps me, helps to develop that connection. I have a student who came to me as someone who recently lost their vision. And he was a practicing lawyer, has a wife and 2 kids, and wanted to get back to that just as quickly as he could. So he came in and he said, I know how to use Microsoft Word. I know how to use Outlook to some extent, and I can even check my email on the web, but I can't do research. I think some of the difficulties exist in the pages that he wants to work with, but at the same time, developing the mindset that these things will be accessible eventually. And though they're not now, you can still be a productive member of society. So we worked together on a variety of these different things. And it's been a rewarding process for both of us because I'm seeing, the growth in him. More importantly, he's seeing just how much he's going to be able to accomplish and how now he can go back home and he can provide for his wife and his children, and he can go back to doing the things that he really loves to do.